Hello? Well, Pete and Sino, congratulations. Pete and Sino, congratulations. Just don't stop making beer for me. Your mom wanted to say something too. Thank you.
The moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. Forever in my hair. Where now? I say a little prayer for you. Forever. We love you guys. I had to do it.
Testing. Okay, I'm Bill. I'm the father of the groom. And I had a few things to say. I know there's a few people back there kind of giggling right now. Let me think. I guess the first thing I wanted to say was I'm very appreciative of all the guests that we have. We have a lot of people from long distances away. Many close friends. Just give me a second. It seems us Ortman men have this problem. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I just want to tell a little bit of a story. About 3 years ago, it was Pete and Jeff and I were going turkey hunting. And we were down in southern Minnesota. And, you know, when you go hunting, we're on the trip, we're planning the trip, and who's going to sit where, and what kind of a call you're going to do. And it's just banter that goes on the whole time. But it turns out most of the banter that was going on was between Jeff and I. And we keep going, Pete, and we had to continually answer us. He wouldn't say anything. And you know, what's going on? Oh, nothing. And then finally we get down there, and the whole time he's been texting this person. What are you doing? Oh, I'm texting. See, I went out on a date with this girl the other night, and I really liked her, and the whole weekend was pretty much shot. Needless to say, Pete did not get a turkey. We still had a good time, but Pete was kind of off in dreamland for most of the night. Then a few months later, you know, we grill Pete for, you know, well, what's she like and all this. And, oh, you know, he tells us a little bit about Cindel and how wonderful she is. And it comes to a deer camp. And deer camp is really kind of a big traditional thing with our family. And at the end of especially the opening day, but every day is like this, everybody, you know, the sun goes down, and everybody files back into camp. And people sit down, we tell stories, people get the fire going, get the wood in the stove, and warmed up and heating the cabin. And we're all in there, and it's getting later and later, and everybody should have been back in, but there's no Pete. And I was a little worried, but I didn't say anything because he's a big boy, and he can take care of himself. Finally, after about 30 minutes or 45 minutes, I say, I think Pete must have one down. We should go down and check where he hunts at and make sure that he's okay, and I'll help him get the deer out of the woods. And then one of the other guys said, oh, don't worry about that. Pete got in a long time ago. What? So yeah, he got in, he jumped in the truck, and he headed to town. I said, what did he do that for? I said, well, there's no service out there. He had to go into town and call someone. He was not calling up his mother either. So, yeah, I just want to say that Pete and Cyndal, we love you both so much. Pete fell in love first, and now we've fallen in love too. Okay, please raise your glasses to a happy and wonderful life for Pete and Cyndal. Salute.
Ladies and gentlemen, my pleasure to introduce to you Ray Huber.
Oh, Ray. Want Ray? Ray's already finished. The next one after Ray. Okay, Andy. Andy's going to do it. Andy, the best man.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to thank all of you for coming, celebrating. It is done. Okay. Thank you all for celebrating with Pete and Cyndal on this happy, happy day. Both of them really have to be congratulated, especially Cyndal, on the beautiful ceremony, beautiful reception, and especially the beautiful, handsome wedding singer. You can send that check to my agent in Chicago. My name is Andy, for those of you who don't know, and those who can't tell with my very Ortmanish features. I am the younger brother of Peter. And when I was asked to be the best man by both Pete and Cyndal, I couldn't have been more honored. As soon as I got over the disbelief that Pete had actually tricked someone into marrying him, the usual essential questions of bachelor party details ensued, much to the annoyance of Cyndal. But alas, Pete's last ride is over, and here we are. After the bachelor party was over, I was told as best man that I also had a few essential duties on the wedding day, a toast being one of them. And I've never given a toast before, so I asked Kura, my 2-year-old niece, what I should say about her Uncle Peter. Unfortunately, it's a little difficult to elaborate too much about his cell phone and his beard. So I suppose I should start from the beginning. Pete has always been the cool older brother that would never let me hang out with him. I believe it was that fueled my need for attention, so thank you. Sure, I'd put on the Oscar-worthy performance once in a while to get him in trouble, but he wasn't always the innocent. It wasn't unheard of for him to tie me to a chair and push it over, or drag me down the stairs. Multiple times he stood by passively, giggling as Carrie, our sister, blindfolded me and tricked me into eating concoctions of spoonfuls of ketchup with cinnamon, pickled herring, and the like. And one of his favorite pastimes involved getting our dog, Molly, to dominate me into submission. But perhaps the most memorable little trick of his involved a bottle of laxative and my glass of Mountain Dew. Now, before you call Child Support Services, I have to say he's been an amazing big brother. In his eyes, he was the only one that was allowed to pick on me. So I gotta thank him for that. I'll skip through his grumpy teenage years in which he suffered from the worst case of middle child syndrome in the history of the planet. A few what's-her-name crushes and girlfriends, a few thousand illegally downloaded songs. That's about it. And then the dawn of the second age. In marches Sindel Peterson, now Ortman. The first time I met Sindel is a very memorable time for me. Having been named after a character in the Star Wars made-for-TV film Caravan of Courage and Ewok Adventure, she already had me won over. Just like the Sindel in the movie, her shyness was quite adorable. But what really sticks in my mind was the change I saw in Petey. As you can see, he doesn't really like to be touched too much. But when Sindel came along, it was all lovey-dovey, schmoopy baby, snuggling. I just couldn't believe my eyes. Could this shy little Goldilocks be taming the beast that is Peter? Luckily for me, soon after his first visit, Sinfully Delicious, Sindel's blog was born. And it was her future brother-in-law's material gold mine for this speech. For the sake of brevity, I'll just mention my top 3 favorite out-of-character changes in Pete since Sindel's introduction to our family. He's been to multiple concerts, including Usher and Boyz II Men. He would never be caught dead at before. As part of his Christmas present to Sindel, for his first Christmas, he decoupaged scented candle holders for her. Peter Ortman decoupaged scented candles for her. And my favorite, Sinfully Delicious moment, Peter hosted a The Bachelorette TV show viewing party for Sindel and her friends. So are you kidding me, Peter? Okay. Understandably, my initial adjectives that I used to describe him were whipped, wuss, and sissy. However, after learning more about their relationship, I realized that Sindel also seemed to be a little bit whipped. Pete brought her camping soon after they started dating, as a bedazzled city girl that's quite out of character. Even though she isn't the strongest swimmer, they've been on multiple canoe trips, and she even spent time at the Ortman Shack, which has no running water or electricity in the dead of winter. She's a true Ortman now. Even though some of Pete's actions have gained eye rolls from his little brother, I've come to learn some valuable lessons through Pete and Sindel's ever-growing relationship. Successful relationships oh, God. They're built on compromise. Ooh. 1 second, please. Give me a drink of water. All right. It's true, though. They are built on compromise. We've had great role models throughout our entire lives. have to thank Grandma Mert and Grandpa Don, Grandma Elaine and Grandpa John, Grandma Martha, Grandpa Russell. Oh, God. Our sister Carrie and her husband Jeff. And most of all, our most loving parents, Mom and Dad. We can ask for a better foundation to build our own relationships off of. All right. And Pete and Cyndal have built a lasting love that will definitely be a great example for their children. Together, they've tried new things, met new people. They've molded into one cohesive being. So, if you could please all raise your glasses. Pete and Cyndal, I can't wait to see what else you guys can do together. And more nieces and nephews, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, your maid of honor, Michelle Olson.
Hello. First, I would just like to congratulate the beautiful bride and groom on their marriage. It's been such a wonderful day. Cyndal, it's been an absolute honor for me to stand beside you as your maid of honor. I just want to thank you and tell you how happy I am that you have found such love and happiness with Pete. Instead of keeping all the focus on me, because I'm very nervous, we're going to put the focus back on Cyndal and Pete. We're going to play a little game. So if Cyndal and Pete can take off their shoes, both shoes, and then just hand one of your shoes to each other. And then if you can stand up back to back. Okay. Now, Cyndal and Pete, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. If your answer is Cyndal, hold up Cyndal's shoe. Can we all see what Cyndal's shoe looks like? All right. And if the answer is Pete, we'll hold up Pete's shoe. All right. Between the two of you, who is the better cook? All right. Between the two of you, who said I love you first? Between the two of you, who has the wackiest family? Between the two of you, who is most likely to eat dessert for breakfast? Between the two of you, who wears the proverbial pants in the family? Between the two of you, who will do the most yard work? Now that you're married, who will be the first to say not tonight? Between the two of you, who's the better kisser? Who will be the first person to fall asleep tonight? Who says, I love you more in one day? Who's most likely to get lost? Who's most likely to ask for directions? Who's the first one to make up after a fight? Who's the one that started the fight in the first place? Who spends more money? And finally, who do you love the most in the whole wide world? So I'm just going to conclude with a little toast. Today we are here to celebrate everything that Sindel and Peter had found in each other. A best friend, a lover, a teacher, a playmate, a true partner for life. So today, can we just celebrate everything they have found in each other? True love. To Sindel and Pete.
All right, I just have a quick few words, and then we'll continue on with this party. I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out. We really appreciate everybody who's here tonight, friends and family. Sindel says thanks for using the wedding wand. She was really worried about people not knowing what those were for. Opposed to some people's beliefs, they are not cat toys, so we were good there. And yes, thank you for those who helped drink the wine, for all the centerpiece bottles. It was a great help. And yeah, just you know, we're here to have a good time, and we really appreciate everybody. We're having a great time ourselves. And contrary to what you've all seen today, the Ormans will not be crying anymore tonight. It will be only laughs and probably some awesome dance moves on the dance floor. So, oh, and also make sure you stop by the photo booth. That is our guest book, so if you have not gone and take a picture, too bad for you, you have to. And make sure you sign the guest book that goes with it. And yeah, just have a good time, and we will be making our rounds soon. So thank you, everybody.